99X, it's Barnes and Leslie. We are your Morning X, and there's nothing we have found, Leslie, that this audience, albeit small, this audience is all about music.
All about music, and I love the reviews that we get. They're very well thought out.
Anything about music blows up. And one of my favorite segments, and it seems to be one of yours listening also, is these Mount Rushmore segments.
Finding your favorite songs from a certain iconic band.
Yeah, Mount Rushmore, the theme of those the four heads. So we take bands and put them through the Mount Rushmore filter and get votes. So we initially ask you what's the best song of a band. Then we we take all those and put a poll out and spend a week or so getting all the votes. And then we compile them all. And it is really interesting to see what songs float to the top. We've done some pretty iconic bands, and we'll land on another big one, which has a lot of Atlanta history attached, and that's Stone Temple Pilots.
And sometimes it's not even their biggest song. It's just whatever you connect with.
Yeah, some of the Police songs I would have thought that would have been up there weren't up there. But like with STP, they really are all over the place. I mean, they could be grungy hard, or they could be melodic, or they could be love song-ish.
Do you remember the song Atlanta?
Yes.
I loved that song from STP.
And it never says Atlanta in it, does it?
No.
I don't think so, yeah.
Hard to believe that we lost Scott Weiland in 2015.
It really is that it's been, we're coming up on 10 years.
He was only 48.
But we have the poll is complete. All the voting is done, and we will reveal these four. I'd love to get some opinions, though. 470-741-4999. Call us right now. Would love to know what your favorite Stone Temple Pilots song is. Because they really are one of the bands that's got so much range.
Which I love. I'd love to hear what people think.
What is your favorite STP song?
I'm going to go with, and I know it's an obvious, but I just love it, Interstate Love Song.
That's a big one.
I remember one time somebody saying he wanted to write the perfect Southern rock song, and he came up with that song.
I think that is a really good one. I mean, that...
But I did love Atlanta.
Trippin' is probably one of my favorites.
That's a good one.
I love the guitar solo so much in it.
Uh-huh.
What was that one B-side they did that wasn't on an album? I can't remember the name. It'll come to me.
I can Google it.
I can't remember what it was from. It might have been on a soundtrack. It had it was kind of poppy, but I really liked it a lot. I can't remember the name, but I'll go with Trippin' for now. Hey, Morning X. Good morning. Who is this?
Hey, Josh Ferguson.
What's your favorite STP song?
Tripping in a Hole in a Paper Heart. That's hands down my favorite.
Tripping on a Hole. Yeah, that I just said that is one of mine. What is it that you like about it?
I think when he wrote it, of course, it had a totally different meaning to him where it was coming from. But for me, it's just sort of staying true to yourself. That's kind of the interpretation I get out of it. The meaning, just being yourself, following whatever your passion is or your goals, kind of.
Yeah, such a tortured artist.
Where are you calling from?
LaGrange, Georgia.
Oh, nice.
I am calling currently from the bathroom at my job. What my boss doesn't know can't hurt him.
That's nice.
This is a new one.
Yeah, I love that. And no echo at all. All right, man, get back to work. We appreciate you calling.
Thank you, guys.
All right, dude, We'll see you later.
Hey, Morning X, who's this?
Hi, this is Carlos.
Carlos, what's your favorite STP song?
Lady Picture Show.
That's a good one.
It's a great one.
Oh, yeah.
Super melodic.
What's the reason? Because everyone has a reason why a song rises to the top for them.
Sure. Well, I mean, it was part of the Tiny Music album, which was a major stylistic shift for them. It's more of a psychedelic rock direction. But this song was at the center of that for me. The way that it was written, the way that it was arranged and played, the instrumentation were just all outstanding, very Beatlesque. Scott Weiland's vocal was different from the past where he was so gruff and so grungy. Here, he almost sounded angelic, He was doing falsettos and stuff. But the bottom line is that this is a Robert DeLeo composition, the bass player, and he is such a brilliant musician, so creative and so unique. And those in the know that Robert is just, he's one of the best. And this song exemplifies his skill.
What an incredible review.
Thank you.
Yeah, when we did that Live X with them, it was really wild to be in the room with those guys, and we had a bunch of people in the audience that got to ask questions.
Yeah.
And when you look back at that now, you take for granted that those guys are going to be around forever.
Yeah.
And when we lost Weiland, we all looked back to that moment and thought how special that was.
Yeah. Yeah, they were. I mean, they were unique, and I miss him terribly because he was such an integral part of the sound.
I think people are going to be surprised here in a few minutes when we reveal what 4 were voted highest by fans. I'll be curious to get everyone's opinion. Thank you for calling in. We appreciate it.
Yeah, Carlos, that was incredible. Thank you.
My pleasure.
Thanks, dude. Have a good day. Hey, Morning X, we're talking STP Rushmore, but first want to know your favorite STP song.
I think I got to go with Silver Gun Superman.
That's a good one.
Those riffs, the lyrics. I mean, it's epic. No, not like all their songs aren't epic, but gosh, I think that's my favorite.
I had totally forgotten about that one. Who is this?
My name's Chris.
Chris, where are you calling from?
I'm calling from Powder Springs, Georgia.
Love it.
There.
All right, dude. Thank you for listening. I think Big Bang Baby is one of mine also.
Oh, yeah, I forgot about that one.
I just love the drums in that one. Hey, Morning X, who is this?
This is Jason. How are you doing?
Hey, good, Jason. Where are you calling from?
I am from Cumming, Georgia.
All right, dude. What's your favorite Cumming, Georgia joke?
Oh, God, there's so many. One day I want to be arrested just so that I can say, in downtown Cumming, I want to be arrested just so I can say, there I was, surrounded by Cumming police.
Nice.
He had one for you, Barnes.
He had it ready. That was good.
I got a bunch of them.
We also want to know your favorite STP song.
Favorite STP song had to be Plush because it was literally the first one that I heard. And then I bought the Japanese import. I bought it before I even heard STP the first time because a friend of mine was with me in the record store and he goes, "Oh man, it's a Japanese import. This is a really good one. I can't buy it." And I'm like, "Oh, it's really good, huh?" "Yeah, I'm going to buy it. You can't have it." So I bought it. And then I got like the good version of Plush. Well, they're both good, but I got the radio version and then the acoustic version that they recorded off of that one.
Well, when that hit the airwaves at 99X, it was such a definitive sound and song.
Plush was amazing.
Still today, when I hear it, it still sounds new. It still sounds like it just sounds fresh.
That's a great one, Jason.
Absolutely, it is, and it was kind of like a game changer because we were deep in the midst of the grunge movement at the time, but it kind of like walked that fine line between what was trying to be defined as grunge, but still like really hard rock.
But how many bands can go from doing something like Unglued and then turn around and come out with Pretty Penny? You know what I mean? Like it's just such a big range.
I'm glad we're doing this because there's so much affinity for them, and I don't think they got, the accolades they deserved.
Oh, they definitely deserved them. And, back in 2000, I actually won tickets to Big Day Out from you guys.
Oh, nice.
And got to see them when they played. And I was like 15 rows back. And it was great because, you guys remember that was the time like he came out and sat in the audience to watch Travis. And I was like, oh, crap, that's Scott Weiland right behind me.
I know.
But
it's super cool to think about those memories.
Oh, I know. It was great. And then they did their first song of the set, and then he stops the whole thing and goes, "Yeah, you guys are too far away. You need to move closer," because they were like keeping everybody back in their seats. And as soon as he said that, people were like looking at each other going, "Oh, can we do that?" And I grabbed my wife and I'm like, "Come on, let's go. What's the worst that's going to happen? They're going to send us back to our seats." And so we managed to get right up at the front, center, right in front of them, up against the rail. And it was, to this day, the best concert I've ever been to.
That's amazing.
Thank you for the tickets.
Yeah, man. Hanging on to some great
what
memories.
A great memory. Thank
you'll
you
never
for
get
that.
to do that again. Thanks for calling in. We appreciate it.
Thank you.
Have a great day. We'll see you later. It's got time for
I don't think I knew that story.
I know. I didn't know that either. Hey, Morning X, Stone Temple Pilots, Rushmore. Who is this?
This is Brittany.
Hey, Brittany. What's your favorite STP song?
It is Atlanta off of the number 4 album.
Mm-hmm.
Great.
Love that song.
Yep. Great song.
It's beautiful.
Have you seen them? Did you see them back in the day?
I did. I got to see them twice. It should have been 3 times, but it was one of the concerts where, unfortunately, they didn't show up. But I did see him in 2002 when I was 16 when he was sober, and it was incredible. when he was on, he was on. Nobody could move on stage like he could. And I'm very glad I got the chance to see them twice before he passed.
He had a presence at that Live X. That was the closest we were ever to them for that long of a time. And man, it has that like makes you nervous presence he had.
Oh, absolutely. I was living in Tampa at the time, and they put on a free show in a parking lot at the University of South Florida.
Wow.
Like the radio station there announced it like the day before. So I left school early so I could be there, and I was right up against the guardrail. So he was just right in front of me. And I need to find the pictures I have from that, but it was like, they're in a photo album buried somewhere.
Wow.
But it was incredible.
Thank you, Brittany. We appreciate you.
Thanks so much.
We'll see you later. We're talking STP Rushmore. Thank you for all the calls. And more importantly, thank you for all the votes. We've had it out in social media for a couple of weeks. These are the 4 biggest Stone Temple Pilots songs as voted by you, the 99X listeners.
Yeah, we really appreciate it, and everyone that voted and commented. Let's start with number 4. Now, they're all equal, Barnes, but this is based on percentages. So at number 4, this is 7% of the votes. This is from the Purple album. It's a ballad about being engrossed in a person that you want to be with even after their death. Still Remains at number 4.
I've always liked that song. It shocks me that gets 7% and makes it to Rushmore, to be honest.
I could not believe it made it to number 4 or was even part of the 4.
Surprising.
Here's one with 11% of the votes coming in next at 3. It's the 4th single from and 7th track on STP's 92 Core album, which I loved Core. According to Robert DeLeo, musically, I was thinking about a song along the lines of Neil Young's Heart of Gold, which is the key of D minor, the saddest key of all. It's Creep.
Now that should be on Rushmore, in my opinion. Always have loved the spookiness of that song.
I was surprised no one brought that up on the calls, but...
Yeah, well, we didn't get to everybody, but that just the vibe of that, and that's another example of their range, right? Think about all the hits. Even all the hits have the range represented from their catalog.
And as we said before, I don't believe they've ever gotten the accolades they deserve. Here's a song that you brought up at number 2, 18% of the vote, second single from STP's 3rd album, Tiny Music, Songs from the Vatican Gift Shop. According to Scott Weiland in a radio interview, the song lyrics allude to, quote, very bad experience dropping acid. Now, in his autobiography, Not Dead and Not for Sale, he added that the song reflects my hunger for redemption. Here it is, Tripping on a Hole in a Paper Heart. Number 2, again, Tripping on a Hole in a Paper Heart, as we build the STP Stone Temple Pilots Mount Rushmore. Thanks for all the votes. We've had 4, 3, 2. You ready for 1?
Yeah,
Barnes?
that solo and tripping, that's what sticks in my head so much.
Yeah. Whopping 40% of the vote. At number 1, based on percentages, track 4 on Purple. The lyrics are about Scott's relationship with his wife, Janina, before recording the album in Atlanta, with Brendan O'Brien, famous producer. He promised his wife that he would stay off drugs. And of course, at the time, he had that heroin addiction. Well, he didn't keep that promise, and in a phone call, informed Janina that everything was fine. The song is written from her point of view and how she saw through Scott's lies.
That's just such a smash. Does it surprise you that 40% of the voters picked that as their top?
That was my top Interstate Love song. And again, I'd always read that he wanted to write the perfect kind of, Southern rock classic, which you can hear. It could have been a Southern rock song.
I wish I knew where he was when he wrote that.
I know.
Was he in a hotel room at the Ritz-Carlton? Was he in a rental house? That's such a piece of rock history that comes out of Atlanta. Let's not play a clip. Let's just play the whole song.
Yeah, again, from the album Purple, and the top voter, 40% of the votes. Interstate Love Song, STP.
It's number 1. Thank you for all the votes for STP Mount Rushmore. This is the original, and there's your number 1, Stone Temple Pilots.